Good afternoon. Welcome to Talk, Wrestle, and Repeat. My name is Alex, and happy President's Day. On today's show, I will guide you through Monday Night Raw, NXT, and AEW's Dynamite. Also, we will take a look at this Friday night. We have TNA's pay-per-view, No Surrender. Also, the following night on Saturday, we have WWE's premium live event, Elimination Chamber, taking place in Perth, Australia. Now, without further ado, let's ring the bell. And we begin with tonight's WWE's Monday Night Raw live on USA, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, taking place at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. Now we start with the Viking Raiders, Ivar, taking on a member from the Alpha Academy and Chad Gable. Then we have an 8-man tag team match as DIY's Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa with Awesome Truth as The Miz and R-Truth take on the Judgment Day's undisputed tag team champions in Finn Balor and Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough. Then we have an Elimination Chamber qualifying last chance battle royale. Then we have for the WWE's Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship, we have from Imperium, Gunther to take on the main event and Jey Uso. Yeet. And lastly, we have none other than Drew McIntyre taking on the American Nightmare and the 2024 and 2023 Royal Rumble winner, and to face the Tribal Chief himself, Roman Reigns, at WrestleMania 40, Cody Rhodes. And following the next night, we have NXT live on the USA, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, taking place at the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. Now to start us off, we have the NXT Women's Championship on the line as the champion and Lyra Valkyrie takes on Shotzi. Then we have former tag team partners as Josh Briggs takes on Brooks Jensen. Then we have Roxanne Perez to take on Ren Sinclair. Then we have JC Jane being accompanied by Jasmine Nix and Thea Hall to take on Ariana Grace. Then we have Metaphor's Last Legend to take on Kalani Jordan. Then we have the NXT Tag Team Championship #1 contender match as Chase Hughes, Andre Chase, and Duke Hudson being accompanied by Riley Osborne to take on Axiom and Nathan Frazier. And lastly, for the NXT North American Championship on the line, we have Obafemi to take on Lexis King. Moving on to Wednesday night, we have AEW's Dynamite live on TBS, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, taking place at the BOK Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We have the Virtuosa herself and Deonna Purrazzo in action. Then we have the Blackpool Combat Club's John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli to take on FTR's Dax Hartwood and Cash Wheeler. Then we have Mariah May to take on Anna Jay. Also, we have Timeless Toni Storm, the AEW Women's Champion, in action. And lastly, we have a 6-man tag team match as the AEW's World Champion and Samoa Joe to team up with Swerve Strickland and Brian Cage to take on the FTW Champion in Hook, teaming up with Hangman Adam Page and RVD, Rob Van Dam. And on Friday, we have TNA Wrestling's No Surrender live on pay-per-view, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You can watch it on TNA Plus and on Thriller TV, taking place at the Alero Center in New Orleans, Louisiana. And we start with the countdown show At 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we have members of the System and Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers being accompanied by Alicia Edwards taking on Koshida and Kevin Knight. Then we have for the Knockouts Tag Team Championships, we have Decay's Havoc and Rosemary to take on MK Ultra's Masha Slamovich and Killer Kelly. Then we have PCO taking on Khan. Two heavyweights going one-on-one. It's going to be great. Then we had the Walking Weapon and Josh Alexander taking on Simon Gotch. Then for the TNA World Tag Team Championships on the line, we have ABC's Chris Bay and Ace Austin to take on the Grizzlejuck Vets and Zap Gibson and James Strake, as the score is 1-1. Now, will we see new TNA World Tag Team Champions in New Orleans? We'll find out. Then, for the X Division Championship, we have Chris Sabin, a TNA original and 10-time X Division champion, taking on the challenger and Mustafa Ali. Then, we have for the Knockouts World Championship as the champion and the Juggernaut and Jordan Grace to take on the challenger and Giselle Shaw. And finally, in the main event, we have for the TNA World Championship, a member from the Systems and Moose to take on the challenger and one half of the Motor City Machine Guns and Alex Shelley. And finally, we have WWE's premium live event, Elimination Chamber, live on Peacock, special start time, 5 a.m. Eastern Time, 2 a.m. Pacific Time, taking place at the Optus Stadium in Perth, Australia. And to start, we have the WWE Women's World Championship on the line as none other than Mommy and a member of the Judgment Day and Rhea Ripley to take on the challenger and Nia Jax. Then we have the Grayson Waller effect as the host. Grayson Waller welcomes his guest as the current World Heavyweight Champion and Seth freaking Rollins and the 2024 Royal Rumble winner and the American Nightmare and Cody Rhodes. Then for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships, we have Judgment Day's Finn Balor and Senior Money in the Bank Damian Priest to take on Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Then we have the men's Elimination Chamber match as the winner will be the number one contender to face the World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania 40. We have Drew McIntyre taking on the Viper and Randy Orton, taking on the Almighty One and Bobby Lashley, taking on LA Knight, taking on Kevin Owens, and lastly taking on the Maverick and the current WWE United States Champion and Logan Paul. And lastly, we have the Women's Elimination Chamber match, as the winner will be the number one contender to face the Women's World Champion at WrestleMania 40. We have the Man and Becky Lynch to take on the EST and Bianca Belair, taking on Liv Morgan, taking on Naomi, taking on Tiffany Stratton. And lastly, we'll have the final member, the sixth and final member, announced tonight on Monday Night Raw. And that's going to do it for Talk, Wrestle, and Repeat. Thank you once again for joining me. Here are the listings for what's to come. Now we only have 47 days till WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. And as always, if you like this video, click that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I hope you all enjoyed your holiday. Have a great week. I will see you all soon, and have a good night, everyone.